Good afternoon. Just a quick one, guys, to say that I'm quite aware that our channel has been pretty boring lately. Um, yeah, it's been pretty uneventful. Obviously, I have to stay quiet on certain things. But I'm off on my jollies tomorrow, so got people to see, and I'm going to be doing lots of content for this channel. So yeah, it will get quite a little bit better. A lot of people asking me, so the book next month is my 24th. So Michael Showers is Delroy's brother, more notorious, slightly probably more dangerous brother. Very intellectual, very articulate. They both are really. Delroy speaks 6 different languages. Michael speaks 4. Michael was a high level chess. Actually, he was county level. Some would say leader of the Toxic Riots. Very. I was reading Paul Sykes' book last night, and he actually described Michael as an athlete. So Michael Showers is 80 next month. Uh, I sat with Michael before, and we counted. He'd been given something like 44 years from the courts, and I think he's 80 next month, and he served something like 26 years, which is it's staggering, literally staggering. Um, some absolutely huge sentences as well. One of 22 years, and he's actually done. He's actually been in a lot of the foreign prisons, and yeah, this is my very last of the true crime. And to put it bluntly, there's not a book on the planet in that genre I would ever write again. It was fun. So a lot of it was fun. A lot of it, well, it wasn't fun. A lot of it was really interesting. I'd like to think I didn't glamorize them, but these people happen. These are part of social history. The name Showers is extremely well known on Merseyside. Who else? Obviously, Paul Sykes was, in my head, probably the most famous person to ever come out of Wakefield. There's only the only competition, I suppose, is him or Jim McDonald. And of course, you like your Lee Duffys and Middlesbrough and all that. And as I said, I put it in the book. I grew up, I never met him, but I'd heard of him when I was 8, and I believed in Santa Claus till I was 9. And I'll never forget that sunny morning when the news broke of his death on August '91. And no matter where you went in Teesside, news agents or going to play football on fields, and kids who didn't even know him were talking about him. So that's what I mean. It's a part of social history. It's a part of and one guy in the book described it as the Lee Duffy era. And when he died, obviously that Havana went from '89 to '93, and when he died, it was an end of an era. It's the same with all those. I remember speaking to one Wakefield police officer, and he said half the street, half the old Wood Street Nick, it's long gone now. But he said half of the people in there were like celebrating, and he said half of people were in disbelief, as if, he'd literally been the Walking Dead for a couple of years, old Sykesy. And when the news came that he died, people believed like he couldn't be killed, like he was some kind of Nosferatu or, werewolf that you could only be killed with a silver bullet or something like that. He was like a bogeyman. And this is what these figures are. And I think this is why the people are so interested in him, because it's, your average Joe Publics like myself and you and your average law-abiding citizen. You're like, what makes them behave that way? What made them do the things they went and do? And obviously, Paul Sykes was emotionally and physically damaged as a young child. Duffy was extremely bullied. The clue's in the name for Michael Showers' book, so that's members only. So Michael's 80 next month. So he grew up like the 50s and the 60s, and if you didn't want a black guy in your club or your shop, or whatever, your pub or something, it says, "Excuse me, sir, members only," and obviously he went to Borsal very young, um, got himself a criminal record, and I suppose that was his path set in life, to go down a path of criminality. And him and his brother, I mean, particularly his brother, I've said for many years, I've met so many people last couple of years, famous, infamous, notorious, all walks of life. But I've always said Delroy Showers is the most interesting character I've ever met. I've been in his company many times, and he's been on the phone and he just breaks out into talking Russian or German, and you're like, fascinating. He's almost like, I think I described him years ago as a cross between Chris Eubank and Derek Lord. Remember that black guy from Big Brother? Very charismatic, flamboyant, eccentric. He was like, he was a lord, I think. And I think he worked for Buckingham Palace or something like that. But Delroy Showers, obviously, to quote him, "I'm not your average darkie from Toxteth." And he's a bit of a chameleon. He can go back to that cheeky chappy Scouser. But overall, his personality comes across as a very elegant English gentleman. Very elegant, very astute businessman. And the Showers brothers, they could have been success in any field. That obviously they took the wrong path, but very switch on characters and highly successful businessmen when they've wanted to be. And it's a shame that they've spent so many of their prime years, basically being eaten up by locusts in prisons. Delroy was in a Denmark prison and he escaped on Christmas Day. And listen, this is my very last of the true crime, and I'd like to think I've kept the very last, the best until the last. There's no glamour in having that life, but I suppose if you want to go into something, you want to be the best at it. And he was, how can I put it? I don't think they'll be annoyed at me for describing him as serious elite heavyweight villains. Him and his Michael and Delroy. So you're going to see the book, members only, out next month. It's quite frustrating because I've done footballers' books, boxers' books, social history books like the Hartlepool ones, the comedy ones like Bob and Dave, and I was in Piccadilly Circus walking about 18 months ago, and there was a guy from Greece, and he was over in London on holiday, and he was like, "I know you," and I was like, and he went, "You're Jamie Boyle," and he just wanted to talk to me about Lee Duffy and kind of Paul Sykes, and I think, like, no matter how many books, I mean, I'm only tending to do, I was wanting to do 100 once upon a time. I've released 24. I've got 3 finished. So I'm going to write another. I'm definitely going to do 30 unless I get struck by lightning or, I want to do other things. But I don't think I could ever do any book that caused the excitement as what those criminal books did. Particularly in Teesside. I've said it loads of times. 30 was stolen in Warstones the very first month. I was actually in a pub in Middlesbrough, and that book was retailing for $12.95 at a shoplifter, some kind of heroin addict or something, come anyway. "Hey mate, do you want to buy a book? A fiver?" Try to sell me my own book. But listen, it went crackers, and it really, because people were interested in it. As I said, when I did the footballers book, I thought, I've struck gold here. Millions of Celtic supporters around the world, and it did well, but it didn't do what them other books did, and that's just because us human beings, our nature is to want to understand to why people behave the way they do, and I think this is why there'll always be a market for the likes of the Showers brothers and your Paul Sykes and your Roy Shaw did his book, and um, uh, Paddy Maloney, and just yeah, people kind of what made them wake up and do the things they did. But yeah, anyway, our channel is going to get really busy. I won't say really busy. What we're with another 3 weeks of this month, and I'm definitely going to put another. I'll definitely put about 30-40 videos out on this channel for the rest of the month. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who follows us. That hair is annoying me. It's sticking out. Damn, hairspray hasn't worked. But other than that, have a wonderful week, people. And yeah, I'm going to go and buy some chocolate, and I'm going to take my dog for a walk.